Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Debasis Sarkar. I am Associate Professor and former HOD from Pandit Deendayal Energy University, School of Technology. So, I'm grateful to the Science Father for giving me this award. And today, the paper for which this award has been given, so that is automation in monitoring of construction projects through BEAM IoT and blockchain model. So this presentation flow will comprise of the introduction, literature review, case study and analysis, result discussion, conclusion, scope, and then for future references. So basically this particular paper is an integration of BEAM, IoT and the blockchain model, which are the three main tools for the digital transformation. So building information modeling, so this is a tool which is used for digital representation of the physical components of a project in a three-dimensional form. And it can also be treated as a tool for virtual reality. And Internet of Things would help to develop for the automation of the process monitoring of the project. And then integration of the blockchain concept would further improve the data management system, improve the automation process, and also enhance the transparency in the payment process of the contractor and the subcontractor. So blockchain actually is a type of distributed ledger technology that has been widely introduced about almost a decade ago as a basic Bitcoin technology. And this distributed ledger technology is simple, but yet it is a unique database. And it is observed that the information base is spread across the various areas in a common organization. And this module can be developed through the standard cloud framework or the other shared online stores. However, so having one source where the data can be put across different accesses, so it might increase the transparency in the operation process, and the operation process will become immutable. Means the operation process actually it cannot be tampered, neither the operation process can be remodified as per the data which is required for any organization or construction process. So what is the importance of this BEAM IoT and blockchain integration? So this IoT, it enables connection between physical and virtual objects through the sensing, processing, and communication protocols. And it has been observed that the BEAM enhances data collection through the building management systems, enabling the real-time monitoring, developed and integrated cloud-based IoT platform for the asset management, for primarily for the elevated metro rail projects for which the case study has been considered, and also reconciliation of the IoT system and the BEAM, it makes a continuous admittance to the on request information. Now these are also some of the literature of the blockchain which actually you can go through in the recent papers also. These are also some of the literature reviews of the necessity of BEAM. These are also some of the literature reviews of the necessity for integrating of the IoT and BEAM. And then finally, this is also a table which gives the different domain and subdomains of the IoT as well as building information modeling integration. So here also certain basic concept of the BEAM is that it can integrate with the blockchain technology into their common capacity to work as a solitary wellspring of the truth. And the engineering ventures, it consists of enormous sums and sorts of the data as well as some high volumes of the design that are consistent with the management decisions. Similarly, the availability of the BEAM-based applications is based with the respect to the digital believability and security, showing a solid instance of the construction technology as well as whatever actually can be integrated with BEAM and the Internet of Things. So that will bring actually a paradigm shift towards the digital transformation. So these are some of the advantages again for integration of the blockchain and the BIM. Now, this integration of the IoT blockchain and the BIM that can be used for a real-time monitoring location system. And this real-time monitoring location system, tracking system, actually very well can be utilized for construction safety. Because as we know, for this safety management, there are different kinds of issues which actually come up when the safety concerns are actually compromised in the mega construction sites. So that should not happen. And this technology, which is integration of the BIM, IoT, and the blockchain, so that can take care of these safety issues. So first thing is that we can use this safety barrier warning system for this underground corridor site using the IoT. So one of the case studies which can be used is the underground corridor of the metro rail constructions. And second case study also which can be used is the elevated corridor metro rail constructions. So if we use this technology of this IoT, BIM, and blockchain, we can monitor aspects. Okay, for the underground corridor construction of the metro rail project as well as elevated corridor construction of the metro rail project. Now, for this technology, RFID is an important component because this particular RFID, it is a chip which can be actually tagged with the different asset management components. For example, for the elevated corridor, we are constructing the segment. Then we are transporting the segment. And finally, we are erecting the segment. So this construction process, transportation process, and the erection process, all these three processes actually that can be monitored with the help of RFID. So if we if we put RFID tags in all these different processes, so what happens? So this entire processes, it becomes much more simpler, and then we can have a timestamp because in blockchain, the primary characteristics or a component or a salient feature of the blockchain is that there has to be a proper timestamp. For example, when a segment is being constructed or casted, so what is the time in which the formwork is put? What is the time in which the reinforcement has been binded? What is the time in which the concreting has been done? Each and every component is documented. And this particular timestamp is immutable, means it cannot be tampered, it cannot be manipulated. So in many cases where the contractor requires manipulation due to billing purposes or whatever, or this technology helps in prevention of this particular manipulation, because once the timestamp is given, so this timestamp is immutable and it cannot be changed in any aspect. Now, there can be another component which is called as the Bluetooth low energy. So this Bluetooth low energy can be a very, very important component which can, like add a very important value addition to this IoT application, because this Bluetooth low energy, so this can be transmitted with the help of a device which is called as a gateway. And these three gateways are minimum required. And once we have a triangulation frame, so this energy which is transmitted with the help of this triangulation frame, so that can be received with the help of a beacon. So this beacon is a small device which actually can be kept in the pocket of a construction worker. And if there are different kinds of safety hazards. For example, a construction worker is actually crossing a place where there are no guardrails. So immediately there will be a beep in his beacon, and then he will be made aware that there is a danger. And since there is a danger, so since there is a danger, so they can easily, they can easily be aware that there is a danger. And then what happens? Immediately the construction worker will be made aware that there is a danger, and then he will take the measures accordingly. So similarly, this real-time tracking Actually, this can be done with the help of this RFID, as well as it can be done with the help of this BLE, that is Bluetooth Low Energy. Okay, so the basic methodology and the conceptual framework which is used in this particular technology. So this is described in this particular diagram where you can see the three levels. First level is that how the blockchain can be integrated. Second level is that how the smart contracts can be formed. And third level is that how the BIM processes takes place. So as I've said that the blockchain is a process which actually makes the construction process much more transparent as well as the construction process immutable. Now what happens? So we can also create smart contracts with the help of blockchain. So these smart contracts are contracts which are actually much more transparent than the normal contracts. And whenever the contract is done, so the contract is actually floated in the portal. So whoever is the stakeholder can have an access to that particular contract. And whenever the contract is executed, so if there is any problem in execution of the contract, so that can also be recorded. But this smart contract is written in a language which is called as Solidity. So we need to understand that this Solidity is a programmable language. It is a programmable language of the blockchain. So if we need to write a contract, smart contract, so we need to learn Python first because Solidity is based on Python. And finally, this smart contract will be written in the programming language of blockchain, which is called as Solidity, for which the basics is Python. Okay. So this entire application, integration of the IoT blockchain and then Beam. So it has been applied for this underground metro rail station of Ahmedabad Gandhinagar. So there is a place which is called Kalupur metro rail station. So that is in that phase, 6 kilometers are underground and it is a part of the phase one. And this underground portion, you can see the map of this underground portion. And here actually this underground portion is 2.43 kilometers. And this underground station is in the near the that is near the railway station of Ahmedabad, which is called as the Kalupur railway station. And it is very near to a place which is Kankaria. And the route map for the metro can also be seen in this figure 2. Now, what we have suggested that when we are actually formulating this case study, first we require to like install an app which is called as a BLE app. So in that BLE app, so there also has to be a software which is called as a Navigin software. So whatever construction hazards are there, so that construction hazards are actually incorporated within the Navigin software. And finally, the worker or the work person, they can access about this construction hazard with the help of this Bluetooth beacon, and then also with the help of their Android phone. So here in this figure, so we can see that how actually the as-built model of the smart contract is being formulated. So whatever actually the informations which is occurring at a particular site, that informations are being transferred, and sometimes we also use the GPS system, okay, to transfer the real-time locations. And finally, so whatever representations are there, right? So that representations are formed into a 3D model, so which is done with the help of Rabbit architecture. So finally, we call it as a BIM model. And finally, that 3D model or the BIM model which has been there, so that is imported and then that is actually incorporated into different blocks, which is actually linked up with a chain. So that is actually which is called as the blockchain model. And finally, whatever smart contracts that we have written, so that is written in the form of the Solidity language. And finally, we can use the help of our Android phone in order to access that what kind of smart contract has been written and what are the salient features of that particular contract and where the problem is occurring. So here we are saying that this entire blockchain technology. So with the help of this blockchain and the beam and the digital twin So it can be very well used for the asset management because for the underground corridor also n number of assets are there. So all the physical assets, they include number one, the construction equipment. So we have the hydraulic excavators, then we have the wheel loaders, we have the crawler mounted cranes, we have the wheel mounted cranes. So all these equipments, actually the RFID tag can be attached. And if we attach this RFID tag in all these equipments, so it will actually help us in giving a real-time monitoring. And in between, so whatever contract is being formulated, so we take a 3D representation of that particular contract, and then in the form of the building information modeling. And we can also, if similar kind of prototypes are there, so we can also take the help of this digital twins. So here we can see if we are actually integrating this IoT beam and the blockchain. So first of all, like the data which is derived from this particular Android phone, so that is divided into different blocks. And once it is divided into different blocks, it is linked up with the help of a chain. And finally, we interpret their data in the form of a 3D representation. So the 3D representation definitely will be rabbit. And then once we interpret the data in the form of the 3D representation, so finally it becomes like virtual reality data. And then this 3D representations, it helps always in a better visualization. So these are the different phases of the use of the blockchain usage in the industry. And then, like we also see that we have done a life cycle costing analysis of the proposed prototype, where we see the installation cost is about 9%, the sensor, wireless and module cost is about 8%, the designing cost is about 33%, the operation and maintenance cost is about 10%, and the processing and control system cost is about 40%. So coming to the result and discussion, we can say that the blockchain along with the IoT can be very efficiently manage the signaling, passenger information systems and ticketing. And then for the metro rail operations, the blockchain can be used as an online ledger, which allows the parties to carry the secure and encrypted transactions without any middleman or the central authority. And then the blockchain technology has the potential to transform and reduce the cost of documentation, billing and supply chain management during the operations of a metro rail. Then the final demonstration of the proposed beam IoT blockchain prototype is done by analyzing the readings on the dashboard. Then the beam data showed the actual status of the work done. The IoT sensors which are fitted on the diaphragm wall give the real-time data which show the current status of the labor, equipment and material to give idea about the excess or shortage. Then also the blockchain releases payments according to the conditions of the contract made with the mate and the amount of work done. Then the analysis also shows the integration of beam IoT and blockchain technology and get esteem in two key approaches to a task. Alternatively, beam may enter example the acquisition of the material or the affirmation of the arrangement of the items from the blockchain for the use as a focal data hub, and the IoT can be applied to the sense the actual data on the site and send it back to the beam. And then furthermore, it can send the data to the blockchain, such as the modification of a blockchain can be used later by the smart payment management contract or the material orders. Then the integration of the blockchain technology with the beam could be an exceptionally encouraging advancement in the transformation of the construction industry. It has been observed that by using the proposed framework, the return on investment increases through the proper collaboration in terms of efficiency, productivity, complexity, sustainability management, and most importantly, trust. So finally coming to the conclusion, so these are the conclusions of this research. So the present research highlights how the transformation of the current processes of installment and project management into a straightforward and reasonable process for the complex mega infrastructure projects like the Metro Rail project. Second, by diminishing late installments, resolving problems and debates, little and medium-sized businesses are no longer at risk of continued cash flow. Instead, the industry can be more reliable. With smart contracts, business measure and regulatory tasks can be mechanized to expand productivity and consistently conform to the particulars of the Concord arrangement. Through this automation applied on the complex infrastructure project like the elevated rail construction project, the efficiency in monitoring has increased, which has led to the reasons for the time overrun and cost overrun. BIM IoT blockchain integration can bring about a more streamlined procurement process, reducing the high level of fragmentation and complexity of large projects. The advent of the materials can reduce waste and drive the quality of products and services forward with the greater accountability. Then the major application of BIM in construction industry are enhanced visualization, clash detection, increased collaboration, automatic quantification, mechanical electrical plumbing, MEP integration, and also can be used as a tool for energy modeling and virtual reality. The primary applications of IoT in construction industry include the use of sensors, wearables, use in the site maintenance system, use in the real-time construction mapping, use for the waste management, and also use for the daily remote management. So these are the future scopes of this research. And finally, these are the references. So with this, I end my presentation. So thank you everyone for the patient hearing. So thank you and God bless.